I'm actually heading home to work from home for the afternoon because I don't know. When it's gray outside, the office is very depressing and hard to uh, focus on working. Whereas my living room has a lot of windows, and even though it's gray, I can open the shades and get more light in and work more efficiently. So that's what I'm going to do. Um, okay, and I love how people drive. Anyway, this is Seminary Ridge that we're cresting right now. We're going to turn left on it, and we're going to go down West Confederate Avenue, and I guess I'll take you on a drive through the country as I head towards the home region. Hey, Ray Finkel, how you doing? Ray Finkel, that's great. Love that. And Jeff, how are you? Good afternoon. Einhorn is Finkel. Finkel is Einhorn. Now, what is this? There's a little crown next to everybody. Community leaderboard. Okay, that's a new thing. Jeff and Ray both have 25 XP, experience points, I guess that is. Dragoon's got 25 as well. I don't know what this all means, but okay. Everybody's got crowns and number one next to their name. BKW, how are you? Jeff says, oh, now it's number two. Okay, I don't know. They update these things. They never tell you what they are. The laces were in. That's right. Oh, God. Hey, Eric. How are you, darling? Good to see you. Hey, Eric, did I tell you a tree fell on a property? Were you there when that was there? I don't remember if you were. But we got a lot of wood to split now. Whenever you're ready. Pat, good afternoon. Now we're waiting for this light, which is very, very long. It is what we call a long light. And because it is a long light, you wait a long time. You watch the world pass you by, and you wait. It's kind of one of those lights where they should put a sensor, you know, like so that, because there's not a lot of traffic that goes on the road I'm on. It's going across. So, like, you know, why you make two people wait forever? Just, you know. But then you could say, why stop the overwhelming flow of traffic to let two people go? So I can see it both ways. That's the problem with being a Gemini. You get both sides of the story. Good afternoon, 1E Nerd. Eric says, yes, I saw the tree. We'll find a good weekend to bring down the log splitter. You know what? I'll cook for you, Eric. Come down, bring Missy and whatever kids want to come, and I'll cook on the grill. When is the 19th century baseball game up here? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say they do it in either July or September. I just remember it's really, really hot. And I think, wow, those guys are crazy because the uniforms are, you know, heavy. Not like what they wear today. Jeff, you know, Jeff says it's currently so gray out. I fear the summer. I'm afraid the summer will be like this. Jeff, I have to tell you, I just said that yesterday. I was at Bantam Roasters and a bunch of us just talking, and everybody, of course, was bitching about the weather because it was just constant rain. And I said, you know what, my fear is that if it's not cleared up and gotten hot and sunny by now, my fear is that we're going to have another 2018 with just pure rain. And I got to tell you something, I'm not going to be happy. Not going to be happy, guys. Not going to be happy, but there's nothing I can do about it. Oh, there you go. Jeff's got the answer for you. It's July 18th through the 19th. So there you go. I guessed it. You know what? I have to go. I forgot. I got to grab something at Walmart before I get home. So we'll take a long drive. I don't know how the cell service is once we get to a certain point, but we'll see how long we can go before I lose you. We're going to go to Waynesboro, the booming metropolis known as Waynesboro, in Franklin County, Pennsylvania. So we'll show you how we do that. We're going south, but where we're going to end up is like northwest of us, I think. So as you can imagine, we're going to make sort of a backwards J. Or if you will, a fish hook. Jeff says, I play in one of those vintage teams that play 1860s baseball. It's so much fun. I bet that is, if you're into baseball or moving at all, I bet that is fun to do. If you're into baseball and history, it's a perfect blend for you. That's pretty cool. I think it's cool that people do that. So one of you nerds says more says 719 for 20th. Wait, 719 through the 20th for 19th century baseball. And then what did you say? 18th through the 19th. So somewhere around there. I would Google it. That's what you should do, is Google it. Patrons, I'm going to do a video for you guys announcing something that we have coming up. I had a meeting yesterday, very excited about this. We did. We're going to take that, move it somewhere different, which I think will be more conducive to the type of conversation it is. And it's for a series that we're hoping would catch on YouTube. It'll come out in the winter. We're going to start filming in July. We're going to do 4 of them, probably 1 a month. It depends on the guests' schedules, I guess. But so far, we've got Jen Murray, we've got Ken Gavin, and I have a couple of other people I haven't spoken to yet that I have in mind that I'm going to talk to. And it's west and south of Gettysburg. That's right. Yes, you're right. Of Gettysburg, it is west and south. I got all turned around. And here we go. We're going to take a foray into the countryside. The Eisenhower Farm is this white picket fence on our left here. Gina says, thank you for your videos. Thank you for the thank you, and you're welcome. Glad you enjoy them. I'm assuming you enjoy them if you're thanking me, but you never know. Are things finalized yet for the September Get Out of the Car tour? Yes, we just haven't. We're in the middle. Actually, one of the things I'm going home to do is go over the ticket. Make sure everything was done right, and then we're gonna put it out. Now, I just so that you understand, ladies and gentlemen, the September tour is a fundraiser. So it's a little different than what you're used to. I kind of said all last year when we were going to talk about doing this that I can't guarantee they're all going to be free for various reasons. This is one of those that is not free, but it is a fundraiser. So just keep that term in mind. Fundraiser for 2 nonprofits. So keep all that in mind, okay? Thank you. All right, I'm going to roll. Of course, I'm doing this, and I'm getting like 30,000 phone calls. And I need to. Can you hear me? Did the mic go out when the calls came in? That might have happened. I don't know. This is for yes, the 2 slush funds actually. Yes. It's going to support the George Tyler Moore Center and the Digital History Pioneers. Over to the right, you can't see it. I should have turned the camera sooner, but over to the right is the barn where General Hood's hospital scene was filmed. Thank you, Ray Finkel, for the super chat. A $5 for the gas tank. I appreciate it. And then we're now going through the part where Pickett's Charge was filmed. This would have been the Emmitsburg Road. And to my left was the angle, and to the right is where the Confederates came across the field. And it's funny because when you come out here, you can see it. You can see it in the movie. Like once you have been to the spot, and you look closely at the surrounding area. Don't look right at the spot where the reenactors and the actors were. Look at the spots around it. In other words, the background. And you'll see in the movie when they switch from Gettysburg National Military Park to out here on the farm. What is all that beeping? Those are my, I'm on cruise control, and it's got steering assist and steering assist, and then sometimes when I leave my hands off the wheel for too long, it beeps to remind me, hey, we're not doing all work here, okay? You have to keep your hands on the wheel. Yeah, Chamberlain's speech scene way, and the 20th Maine marching scene. It's out. It's not right out here, but it's out in this vicinity. It's not exactly all in this particular area. And the little round top scene is out that way too. It's all pretty much in the same, I don't know, I wouldn't say how many miles circumference it is, but same area. A quick drive from one to the other. Jeff says the parade video is very nice. Thank you for recording it. Definitely need more Ezra commentary next time. The kid's a star. Well, he's got very insightful commentary, and that's the thing, is sometimes it's so insightful that we can't do too much of it because it'll make the audience feel stupid. And we don't want to do that. We do not want to do that. least there's a little sun poking through. God damn, Jeff, if you and I are right, and this summer is going to be a wet, not so hot one, I'm going to be wet and pissed off. I'm going to have to go away somewhere, you know? Find someone that looks at you the way Ezra looks at tanks. You know, we'd all be alone if we had to wait for that. Grant sent $42.99. Thank you, Grant, for that very generous donation. That's Australian dollars, so that's like $85 US, I think. Thank you so much. Couple bucks for the great man. Oh, I'm sorry. I misread it as it was shaking around. That's $2.99. Well, still, that's like $12 US or something. So thank you for that, Grantley. I appreciate that. So anyway, patrons, back to you. I'm very excited to let you know what we have coming up. And if you were in the audience for the anniversary show, you know, you get it. You get what we're trying to do, and we would love it if you came back to be in the audience for this one. I believe at this point, that I will be able to make it free for you. So all you have to do is sign up. There's a limit of 15 people. We're keeping it to a small, intimate audience. So it's going to be 15 people. I'm not going to be able to squeeze much more in because I have my crew and everything like that. So it's limited space, but there will be 4 opportunities this year between July and October. And I hope that you will be able to make it to one of them. The tricky part is they're going to be on a Sunday because the venue is closed on Sunday night. So they close at 4 o'clock. So they said you can come in, you know, around closing time and start setting up. And then you'll get 2 drink tickets. And there will be a charcuterie board there for light fare. So if you have an appetite, what I would do is eat your dinner early that night, like old people do, and then come and snack and have a couple of drinks with us while we do the show. And I think you're gonna like it. So far, the 2 topics that we're gonna have are not going to be about Gettysburg, and it's because these are primer episodes for our spin-off channel that I hope to get going by next year. They'll air originally on addressing Gettysburg, but it's to get you to go over and subscribe to our next channel, which is going to be, well, already is, I reserved it. It's addressing history, and that opens it up and lets us talk about anything history related, and hopefully not confuse people, because as I'm learning, people get confused. I guess when you follow someone on YouTube, see, when I follow people on YouTube, I follow the person, I don't follow the subject. But apparently I'm different that way. And so I'm learning that, you know, people follow the subject, not the person in the history world. So nobody cares. That's why I'm moving AG Today over to Patreon only eventually, because, you know, it's not more than the people who do get it, but it's an annoying number of people who don't understand why AG Today is on a history channel. And rather me trying to explain to them the full vision, I just accept that they don't get it and they don't want it, and I go, okay, fine. I'll put it over on Patreon, because even though not all patrons watch or listen to it, it's mostly patrons who watch and listen to it, or at least comment on it. And I think, they're, whatchamacallit, I think they tend to be more of a person supporter as opposed to a subject consumer, if that makes any sense. So that's why it's going over there. But addressing history is, the next thing that we're working on. It's not instead of addressing Gettysburg. It's in addition to addressing Gettysburg. And it's not going to be a podcast in the traditional sense like addressing Gettysburg is, or we're not doing like a radio show. They're going to be YouTube videos, but there will be an element of what we do on the radio show in these videos, which is what I'm going to let you all know about soon. Sorry, I have to be cryptic, but I have to make sure that we've got things going before I fully come out with the idea, because, strange way is quite the opposite. It's about 50 American cents. Oh, is that how it goes? Yeah, I thought so. Bill says hi. Hello, Bill. How are you? Grant says, unlike you, Matt, who is in for the fame, the money, and the glory, I love history. I follow the subject. Right, exactly. Right. I am more interested in people, because people make history and people share the stories of history. So I'm into supporting the people. Gail says hi. Hello, Gail. Peter says 90% of people don't have a clue. Having a British flag on the back of a car and being called a racist, then told it's the flag of slavery. Boy, I had fun with they thought it was the Confederate flag. Well, there's nothing more satisfying than a complete idiot who thinks he knows things and has the nerve to make any kind of character judgments about you based on a symbol that he misinterprets. Or might it have been a she? I mean, there's stupid people on both sides of the gender aisle there. So don't want to exclude the ladies in that. You could be stupid too. There's plenty of that to go around. Really, Peter, what I would have said is traitor, right? Like, I wouldn't have called you a racist. I just would have said you're a traitor. Like, what is that flag doing on your car? Tommy Canavan's in the house. Best line of the parade coverage. We got a bus. I was quite fond of that line myself. I like doing the parades. That's fun. And I really like it when you have a list with like a description of everything, because then you kind of sound professional, like Al Roker. Although, also not professional, like Al Roker. Peter said, I explained if the British ones. Grant says, those vehicles were so cool in the parade, and I like the small town feel of it all. Yeah, there's a charm to it for sure, and I do love all the World War II vehicles. What I love about the Remembrance Day Parade are the fifes and the drums. I love the sound of those drums echoing down the road when they're, half a block or a block away, or more, I guess. And then I love when they're right up next to you. Like, something about that, I don't know what it is, gets the heart going. So I do enjoy the Remembrance Day Parade for that, and the Memorial Day Parade I enjoy for the World War II vehicles. World War II and, post-World War II vehicles, that's pretty cool. You don't see that stuff every day. Although you can if you go out to the World War II experience when you come to Gettysburg. So we're going to head out to Walmart in Waynesboro. I know a lot of you have been dying to see this. We're going to pass Monterey Pass as well. So we'll get a little history there as we zip right by it. But again, we're going up into the mountains, so I don't know when or if I will lose you. And if I do, let me know when I come back if the sound is back, and if not, then I'll try to start another one. Maybe I'll do it on the way home, or maybe I'll just give up and answer the 3 phone calls I've had to decline while doing this video for you. All right. There's a little coffee house to the right here called Deja Brew. Bantam Roaster supplies the coffee for them as well. Grant says, I've lived in the suburbs all my life, so the small town thing definitely has a charm that I'm not used to. Yeah, I grew up in the suburbs, and I remember visiting areas like this down in Virginia, where my relatives are, and I've been in love with it ever since I was a kid. It just was always more my speed. It's a different way of life, and I find it much preferable, and I find it... is it much preferable or much more preferable? I know people say much more preferable, but is that actually grammatically correct? Well, it doesn't matter. I prefer it to suburban, definitely city life. I don't have any interest in... I barely like to visit a city. Every time I do, I enjoy it, but I want to get out as quickly as I got in when I go to a city. But yeah, the small town charm, and Gettysburg definitely has it, but it also has a big city feel. Like, I think that's what I love about the Gettysburg area is, for Grant, I'm sure you're aware, in our political system we have red and blue states, Republican, Democrat states, and of course within those states you have red and blue areas. And Pennsylvania has it's got blue concentration points, but they're in a sea of red. They're islands of blue in a sea of red. Adams County is like a microcosm of Pennsylvania, and so Gettysburg is a blue town in a red county, and I like that because I grew up in an area that was all one thing, and it was all very boring. Nobody was different. There was nothing interesting about people. And I shouldn't say nothing interesting, but there were, everybody was basically the same, and everybody thought the same, and they dressed the same, and they walked the same, and they talked the same, and they, and they all thought they were unique, but they didn't realize they were identical to the guy sitting next to them. Here, it's it's different. Like I don't really fall one way or the other, so I like to expose myself to both because I find both have points usually, and I find both to be interesting because it takes all kinds. It's I couldn't live in a world where everybody agreed with me or where I agreed with everybody. Oh my God, how boring and unchallenging that is. You don't grow without a challenge, and I like to try to grow at least. And so that's why I like living in Adams County, because you can get both. If you want, culture-ish and wacky ideas, you go hang out in the town for a while and you talk to the people and you can see the mental illness walking around. If you want like basic, normal, calm, and just enjoy life with a bonfire and have a cookout and just be around good people and have a good time and not worry about politics and just how are you doing in life? What is going on? How's your business? How's your family? All that stuff. Then you just go out in the sticks. And you got your weirdos in both. But you can find what you want in either one as well. And that's what I like about living around here. Going out by Mary Jemison's homestead area? No, we're going, that's off of 30 if I'm... Is that paranormal? Paranormal hates living in New Jersey. Hey, babe, I get it. I'm saying babe in a Sammy Davis kind of like everybody's babe, Garrick says on the patron talks, what subject do you have scheduled so I know when I put in my PTO? Okay, so Jen Murray's going to do George Meade. Ken Gavin is going to do something about the revolution. We haven't narrowed it down. We had a conversation this morning and talked a few ideas. And then the other one, I haven't spoken to the other people I have in mind yet, so I will let you know on those. And I don't want to say what I have in mind, because if they can't do it or don't want to do it, then, I don't want to get your hopes up for nothing. But on Patreon, I'll let you in on that with the caveat of this isn't set in stone, but this is what I'm shooting for. And by the way, it might be that this is free to you guys. Like, in other words, you don't have to buy tickets because it will be fully funded through the Digital History Pioneers. I do believe. I don't promise that just yet, but I had a good conversation with someone last night, and that might be very possible. So I will let you guys know. So just, give me a little forgiveness if I'm incorrect here and I turned out, well, we can only half fund it. So I do have to charge for tickets. I don't want to charge for tickets. I want it to be free, because the way I'm looking at it is the audience is as much a part of the show as me and the guest. Paranormal Brew says, but only because I want to live in Gettysburg. No, it's good. Kevin says use more preferable. Okay. I'll take Kevin's word for it. Peter says New Bern, North Carolina was a small town vibe and really great. Old world charm yet very hip. Yeah, see, I like that. Old world charm, but very hip. Because there's plenty of small little villages and hamlets everywhere around the country that are old world charm, and they like have broken hips. So nothing has updated or upgraded. They're like time capsules, and there's no youth there. The youth get the hell out as quickly as they can. There's a lot of those places too, but the Gettysburg is not like that. Gettysburg is. It does have a big town or city feel to it once in a while, but then you get that peace and quiet of the winter where the town is yours again, and the tourists are gone, and everybody's kind of hunkered down inside, and it's a cozy little town. It is a great place to live. However, Paranormal Brew aside, for those of you who hear me say that and go, see, I got to live there. Well, the problem is the more of you that come, the less that feeling is going to continue to exist. So it's best to, find a place 20, 30 miles away, live there, come in and visit. Also, and this is true, and this isn't me trying to be funny and dissuade people from coming so I could have it all to myself. This part is true. It's one thing to visit a place, it's another thing entirely to live there. If you're retiring, I say go for it. If you want to live in Gettysburg, go for it. If you're not retiring and you still have to work, you're not independently wealthy, you don't have, you've got to still make your way. Gettysburg's a little tougher. Certain things, nurses, doctors, excuse me, dental professionals, lawyers, that's a different story. Those people are always going to be in need, or not in need, needed. But then you got, but there's not much else to do unless you're willing to drive an hour away, and many people are. So just keep that in mind. I've seen a lot of people come here who love to visit it, and they'll visit it many times in a year, and they'll stay for 3 or 4 day weekends at a time, and it's good, but it's an entirely different thing. Come do that during the winter. Take 2 of those trips and do it during the winter, and you'll get a better idea of what it's like. But also, trying to make a living is not the easiest thing to do if you don't have a very specific, specialized thing that you do, or you don't want to work in the history fields or the tourism field. There's not a lot of variety in Gettysburg in particular, so just keep that in mind. I've seen people do it where they move here, oh, we love visiting, and they move here and they're completely disenchanted and demoralized within 9 months of moving. And I remember one couple, I believe to this day they're still stuck. Like they couldn't find gainful employment to get out once they realized that it was a mistake to move. They kind of didn't look before they leapt, but like you will, of course. But take my word for it. Think it through. Paranormal says, I really love hold on a second here. Sorry, I'm trying not to crash. It says, I really love when there's a lot going on. Feels like town is alive, full of life. Agreed. And then again, when I'm there in the winter, I love having the town empty. Yeah, and that's the beauty of living here, is you get that every year. That's the way it goes. Peter says, Gettysburg needs more good old country boys, or county boys, excuse me. The kind that are city folk off my lawn. Say what? I think I got what you're saying. I'm not sure I do, though. Paranormal Brew says, yes, I'm in the medical field. There you go. So I'll be okay living in town. Good. Start, get your job lined up before you come here, though. Kevin says you can use either pronunciation, Bill, but preferable, short E, or preferable seems more common. Yeah. How do I say it now? Now that I'm thinking about it, I can't remember how. It's preferable. Yeah, I say preferable. Do people say preferable? Did I say preferable before? I might have. Sometimes I do both, but I think I fall into preferable more commonly, more often. All right, here we are in the outskirts of the booming metropolis known as Waynesboro. And we're going to pull into the Walmart and Lowe's parking lot, shopping center, whatever you want to call it. It is one of the majesties. Oh, and there's an Applebee's and a Verizon and a couple of other smaller restaurants and stuff. GameStop, for those of you who are into that. Sushi place and whatnot. But the big anchor stores are Lowe's and Home Depot. I'm sorry, not Lowe's and Home Depot. Lowe's and Walmart. And it's a super Walmart too. And it really is super. It really is super. Oh, there's a bank here. You got a lot of different things. Oh, God. All right, so I'm gonna find what's called a parking space. And in that parking space, I will park. Park right here. Don't need to get close. A little walk's not gonna hurt anybody, right? These people that drive around for hours and hours trying to find a closer space, and they're completely able-bodied. No excuse. That's laziness, ladies and gentlemen. That's laziness. That's either laziness or me in the winter. Who is Wayne? Obviously, this is named after John Wayne. And Garrick says, we were walking around town on Monday and it was quiet. Damn autocorrect. Paranormal Bruce says, I've been there for 10 days in the winter and the summer and still love it. Yep, there you go. Okay, well, good. So you can hack it. And you know what? Honestly, like having a, what would you call it? Mobile profession? Is it mobile? Is that the word I'm looking for? Ambulatory profession? Like a profession that you can move to any state in the union. That will make the making a living thing not even anything to worry about for you. So yeah, you'll have a easier time. My friends own a B&B in Waynesboro called the Hoover House. I've heard of that. They just opened up where you can do wine tasting there too. Oh, you should put us in touch and maybe we can do something with them. What is the toy soldier hobby gaming scene like in Gettysburg? Asks Troy. Well, Troy, I'm not into that, so I couldn't really give you a good answer as a person who participates. However, I do know it exists. There is a miniature toy soldier store right on the corner of the Tawnytown Road and Steinware Avenue. I'm sure they would probably, I mean, I can't imagine that they're not the hub of that community in Gettysburg, and that would be the place to go to find out everything that you want to know, obviously, and buy some soldiers as well. But that is a good question. I don't know exactly. I hope that answers, at least points in the right direction. Peter says, always get your walk in. Get exercise when you can. Beth's husband would know. Yes, he would. He would know. But I would say check with that place. I don't know the name of it, verbatim off the top of my head. I just call it the miniature soldier place. But it's, Google it. And it's right at the corner of Tawnytown and Steinware Avenue. And give them a call and they'll be able to answer whatever questions you might have. All right. So I am going to go into Walmart, get my stuff, head back home, do some work. I'll talk to you all later. You have yourselves a great day, and don't drink too much. I think that's how I'm going to sign off. Jerry Springer used to say, what was it? Take care of yourselves and each other. And I'm going to say, have a great day and don't drink too much, at least during the summer months. All right, you guys have a great one, and don't drink too much.